If I hear one more dumb ass motherfucker talking shit on the WTA or the ATP top 100 and how their technique is bad and how they don't know how to hit a forehand right, their backhand's better than their forehand, etc., etc., etc. I'm gonna shut this channel down and I'm done with YouTube. Being on YouTube around a lot of tennis the last couple months, I've just heard so much trash. I just can't. I gotta restrain myself. So much. I've heard it from so many people. You hear it all. It's just all over the place.
It's garbage. There's garbage on the phone.
Let me turn him off. You see him. He's talking shit. He's talking shit on women in the top 100 of the WTA, saying that their technique is garbage. I mean, what? And the thing is, like, what more do you want? What more do you want? This girl wants. She's a tournament player. Like, you want her to look good. I mean, what's her goal? Is it to look good, or is she trying to be a player? It just doesn't make sense to call out these women in the WTA and say that they look like garbage. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And that, like, people talk shit on me, like, who are you, etc. I mean, who are these people? Who do these people think they are? I mean, people are talking shit on me about who I am and my arrogance and narcissism, etc. Who are these people? They don't even. Most of them don't even look like athletes. They may play tennis. They don't even look like tennis players. They don't look like they got tennis channels. They don't look like athletes. They look like they've never thrown a baseball or a football in their life. And here they are talking shit on professional athletes. And the first time that I noticed this, I'm going to tell you a story. The first time I noticed this, I was going to the U.S. Open. First time I noticed this phenomenon. It is a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon, and it goes along with all the other stuff that I mock on my channel. If you haven't gotten it yet, a lot of my stuff, especially talking about coaches and coaching and tennis, I am mocking the tennis community, and I am mocking the tennis customer. That's what I'm doing. I'm telling you right now. And the first time that I noticed this phenomenon, I was on my way to the U.S. Open. And this particular year, it was the first round, and I went with a fellow coworker, a fellow tennis pro at the club. We were both independent contractors, and we never really got along. I never really got along with this guy. But he did help me from a business standpoint. I learned some things by watching him. He was a pretty good businessman. He had a complete full 40 hours, 50 hours a week type pro. I never got to a point where I could do 50 hours. I think the most I ever got in my business was 30 hours, and it was half group, maybe half privates. He had 50 hours of privates whenever he wanted. And we were on our way to the U.S. Open, and we get there, etc., and we walking along, and there's my favorite player. There's my fucking favorite player ever, Mr. Alexander Dolgopolov. And this is probably like the third or fourth time I've seen him at the U.S. Open. I remember going. I was going when he was in qualifying, and that's when I first noticed him. And I'm watching him play, and he's playing like shit. He's playing like shit. He's down like 4-1, and he looks at me. He's like, "You see that? You see that?" And I'm like, "No, what? What do I see?" He's like, "You see how bad his technique is? You see how bad your favorite player is?" And I'm like, I don't even know what to say. I didn't say anything. I just sat there and just thought about it. And I thought about it all the rest of the day, and I thought about it all the way home, and I thought about it a lot more. I'm still thinking about it. Here we are, fucking 10 years later, I'm still thinking about it. And after thinking about it, and after a while, and I started to, learn how these people are, because he was in this group. He's brainwashed. He just is never going to get it. He's never, ever, 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 ever going to get it. I could talk shit on his lessons all day long, and he's never going to get it. And I was thinking about this, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you're talking shit on my favorite player, and I'm supposed to be surprised that he's not what I've been watching this guy for 4 years. I come up here every year to watch him. And you're telling me that he's got bad technique? That he don't know how to play tennis? This is the guy who's the son of an ex-professional, the son of an ex-professional tennis player who did pretty well for himself. And the son of I think she was an Olympic gymnast. And I done videos on him. I got the videos. I've only done a few so far. I'll probably do more on Dolgopolov and how there's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing fucking wrong with my favorite player, Alexander Dolgopolov's technique. This guy is a fucking idiot. An absolute idiot. If you're watching this and you think there's something wrong with Alexander Dolgopolov's technique, you need to look in the mirror and assess your life, because you are a fucking idiot. And anyone who doesn't like this video, you need to do what I did. I stopped and I thought about it, and I thought about it for a long time. And I thought about this for a long time. All the stuff that I do in my videos, I've thought about ad nauseum. You have not. I have, and I got nothing in return for it. Absolutely nothing but experience. That's all I got. I got experience, and I got to meet a bunch of great people and a bunch of great kids. That's all I got to show for it. You haven't done that, and you got nothing. And this guy, even though he was a coach for 10 years, played Division II tennis, this guy has a clay court in his backyard. He has an authentic European clay court that he built himself with his hands, and he still is a dumb motherfucker.